York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick of Time show, here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And the Knicks molly-wop the Nets, or aka the Brooklyn Paint Jobs, as I like to call it, 121 to 102. All right. Listen, RJ Barrett gives you 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Jalen Brunson gives you 16 points and 8 assists. Hartenstein, monster game, gives you 2 points and 10 rebounds with 2 blocks in Mitch's absence. Josh Hart gives you 10 points and 13 rebounds. IQ gives you 19 points. Dante's Inferno gives you 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. And Julius Randle is having a phenomenal season and finishes with 26 points and 7 rebounds on the night. Bust those shots for Julius Randle. The Knicks out-rebound the Nets 42 to 32. Don't forget the Nets, they're a top rebounding team in the league. They're above us in rebounding. We beat them in rebounds. Our fast break points are 21 to 16, advantage Knicks. The bench points are 40 to 31, advantage Knicks. The points in the paint are 52 to 40, advantage Knicks. And it's just advantage Knicks all over the place. We finished this road trip in general on the winning side of basketball. All right. 3 wins, 2 losses. This is supposed to be the daunting part of the trip where everybody's scared. We come out of here with a winning record. The criticisms about the Knicks being mediocre and not being able to beat the good teams or the teams over 500 is starting to it's starting to disappear a little bit with this run, and we're playing some of our best basketball, some of our best defense, but still some little ways to go. But it's looking really good, man. And I'm excited to talk about it. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, but it's a lot of good today. And I'm going to introduce my guy. You already know, the Latin assassin, the ESPN contributor, posting and toasting contributor, Lee Escobedo is back. What is good, Lee?
Man, very happy to be back and love that it came right in time for a Knicks molly-whopping of everyone's least favorite NBA team, yes. the Brooklyn Nets, basically the gentrifiers, yes. The colonizers. Yeah, man, I had to take a little mental break. Got to lapse my medication. Came at a very difficult time while mom's been in the hospital. So I was just trying to take care of my mental health. Had a lot of brain fog. Didn't want to come on here looking like a fool. People roasting me in the comments more than they usually did. So I was able to catch some of the game, but most of all, I was taking care of myself. I was able to do emergency medicine. Everything's back in my system, man. I'm feeling, that equilibrium's maintained. So I'm feeling good again, feeling like myself, and very happy bad talking to my main man, Jay Ellis, about these Knicks, baby. Let's go!
Let's go! Back better like yourself. And you know who's feeling better than himself lately? I have to start out this program once again giving big ups, praises to Julius Randle, man. Second time in a row, I have to just start out this program with giving this man a lot of praises. That's supposed to be a 26, but Julius Randle gives you 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. And the last post game, I said I think he's playing his best basketball. He's playing his best basketball of his career right now. To me, he's found a winning formula, and he's a unique blend of power and finesse. And right now, I feel like he's able to harness his power. Years before, I feel like when he used his power game, he would get into trouble. He would actually commit a lot of offensive fouls, and he wouldn't be really controlled. But right now, this year, he seems like he's controlling his power, and he's combining that with touch around the rim. And when he's double teamed, he's able to find other players and pass it up to them from open shots. And today and the game before, you're starting to see the defense start to work his way in with Julius Randle as well. So I'm looking at I've always said, man, this guy's maybe a top 8 power forward in the league, top 7. Right now, to me, right now, he's playing like a top 2 power forward in the NBA. It's unreal. It's scary. He's beating down Anthony Davis. He scored 40 over Giannis the other day. I just felt like he wasn't playing defense enough that game. But if he's playing defense versus the Bucks and giving us that high quality shot making and the high quality playmaking, we should be in a different spot versus the Bucks. I can't wait to see what he does versus the Bucks. I feel like this is a nice time to play a high caliber team to get a gauge of where the Knicks really are. And I'm really happy with what Julius Randle has done so far.
This was a great year for me to throw myself 100% behind Julius Randle. It was easy to do it at first because Obi Toppin's no longer here. There's no longer any discussion on who should start. How is Obi ever going to be unleashed? He's gone. So the moment that he was traded, I decided, man, we both know when Julius Randle is locked in. He's playing unbelievable bully ball and being helpful on defense, active on defense. He's easy to love.
Yeah.
And as someone who struggles with mental illness myself, I mean, you saw we didn't have my medicine for 8 days, bro. I was going insane, man. And I think he has found what works for him. And that's very important. Like the Zen mentality, the deep breaths, the calm breathing, and also being open to being coached and looking out for his teammates. All those things are making him a better player and supposedly a better person as well, man. And that's why I want to give a shout out to mental health. Everyone out there listening in the chat, man, don't be afraid to talk to somebody. I've been in therapy since 2008, long time. I've also been on medication now for 3 years. If I wasn't on both those things, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So you got to find your peace. You have to find out what your peace is and how your peace can center yourself, and then embrace it fully. And don't let fear or anxiety guide you. Try to learn to help yourself and get the tools into your toolbox to be able to help yourself, because the therapy is not always going to be there. Sometimes, like me, your medicine lapse. You got to have those ways to calm yourself down. Randle is embracing that as well. Some nights, his shot's not there. Some nights other guys are cooking. He is learning to acquiesce and put the team before him, and it's causing him to be more quicker with his reads, quicker with her reactions, quicker with getting a shot up. He's not hesitating anymore. He's not thinking so much. It's apparent the game has slowed down for him. But not only is he seeing a double team, he's hitting it early and he's throwing crisp passes. And he's really getting his teammates, guys who need to be help initiated. And now we're seeing the full functionality of this offense when all gears are clicking. Hey, man, those wildly optimistic takes are coming back up the chamber. I'm ready to fire a few off. You know what
man,
I mean?
it's looking, man, you looking like Lee Stradamus right now. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, I still want, me, I still want to see more. I still want to see more. I want to see how long he can do this, but this is the most optimistic I've been so far this year with the outlook of the team, because when I'm looking at the way Julius Randle is playing and the way Jalen Brunson is playing, I feel like both of those guys have gotten better from the previous year. So they both of your best players have gotten better from the previous year. And the team should benefit from that. And I feel like we're inching closer to what we're supposed to be. And I'm starting to be more and more open to the idea that maybe we don't need a third star. I'm starting to be more and more open to that idea, depending on what we can do with these tools and guys improving. Maybe we just do need like the right ancillary piece to make it all work together. That's the way my mind is working right now. I always say I want to see more. I want to see how sustainable it is. But from what I'm looking at, the way Julius Randle is playing, he's found that formula. He's playing old school, beat 'em up basketball. Shout out to Terry. He said that there's nobody else in the NBA playing this brand of basketball. This is like old school 90s post basketball. What other big is really doing that for real? Maybe Embiid, maybe Sabonis. But at the level that he's doing, you know what I mean? At the level that he's doing. So he's on another plane right now. And when you have him and Jalen Brunson, who Jalen Brunson is averaging around 7 assists his last 10 games. Julius Randle, right now, he's averaging 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 57% from the field and 35% from three his last 10 games. With both of these guys on the uptick, sky's the limit, man. And we're beating good teams. Now we'll see if we can beat the great teams.
Real quick, Alex said that he sent you a graphic.
Got you, Alex.
Yeah, man, he's playing like a cross between Bernard King and Anthony Mason. The physicality and like his ability to like rip through in the paint and basically break himself free, no matter who's guarding him and no matter how many guys are guarding him.
Yeah,
that is one of the most top 10 unstoppable moves in NBA right now.
Yeah,
that's used repeatedly, and he is starting to use it at the right time. Not when he's too far away from the basket, he ends up getting called for a charge or a carry or a travel or a turnover that was happening years prior. He's getting in the right spot and doing the move at the right time. And not only is he getting the bucket, he's getting those and ones too. I love to see it. And one of the things that got me through his last 8 days, Jay, was a super intense argument you and I got on Twitter over Bojan Bogdanovic. And there was a key thing you said that I wanted to clarify. That I clarified then, I want to clarify now too. This is very important to show not only you were right, but also I'm able to say I was wrong, which is Julius Randle. The one thing we haven't seen, he hasn't been clutch.
Yeah.
He hasn't been a closer yet. And you were right last year when we debated, and I said he was, and you said he wasn't. And I give you your flowers. I was wrong. And I still haven't seen that. Even though he's finally breaking the even number year season or whatever, where he does from good to bad, we're still not seeing him be the guy that closes teams out consistently. That role is still on Brunson. And at the beginning of the season, it was on RJ. Got to see that. We got to see it in the playoffs. Otherwise, the reputation of him is going to be historically a great regular season player who doesn't show up in the postseason.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was the Lakers game when it was like around 4 minutes left. The Knicks called a play for him. They had Brunson screening Anthony Davis. Julius Randle pops out to three, and he was able to hit a corner three after not really hitting a lot of threes that game. He hit it. That was, to me, was a big shot for me. That was a clutch shot. Even though he hasn't had, that to me was a move in the right direction as far as clutch play from Julius Randle. I want to see more, but at the same time, although I do want to see more in the clutch area, I'm very comfortable with him. I'm very comfortable with Jalen Brunson closing. I'm very comfortable with Jalen Brunson closing and having that be his role. My thing is, when the playoffs happen, and I said this last year, when they take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands and they force somebody else to beat us, can they beat it? Can Julius Randle take that responsibility and beat them? The way he's playing right now, it's looking like he can. I want to see how this works during the playoffs, during bigger games versus the Bucks, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going in the right direction.
I'll double down on one of my, you could probably call it goofy takes, is that I said he wasn't a closer, but he did everything else that a closer does outside of scoring. That has continued. He's getting pivotal rebounds.
Yes.
He's making the right reads. He's passing the ball. He's getting second opportunities, and he's playing pretty good defense to close out games more than he does maybe in those second quarters or early third quarters. And I mean, he's also a decoy. He's a constant 24/7. Even though he's not the closer, and the rest of NBA teams know that. Even in the playoffs we saw, it's hard to lag off him. Because, I mean, if he catches it and he's wide open, I don't worry so much in those clutch moments. It's when he's guarded heavy or double teamed, he hasn't made quick decisions. That's when I get a little bit scared. But, man, he's been in beast mode lately, and I really, really, really hope it continues into the playoffs. It's not really him and Brunson we're worried about right now. It's that third peg of the trio that's been very disappointing since the migraines.
Wow. All facts. Shout out to the chat who's keeping us abreast of what's happening right now. It seems like there is some breaking news right now. Very bad news for us Knicks fans.
Man.
That unfortunately I do have a lot I want to talk about during this post game, but we're gonna have to detour to highlight this. But Shams has said the New York Knicks have applied for the NBA for a disabled player exception worth $7.8 million as the franchise projects center Mitchell Robinson will miss the rest of the season.
With what?
Oh, That is rough.
What's the reason given? What's the injury?
Major development as Robinson had ankle surgery last week. So maybe they saw that the ankle is bad, is worse than they thought, which is horrible news. Really bad. Oh man. This sucks. This really sucks. This is the type of news that this is the type of news that can change the trajectory of your season. For sure.
I think it's important that it changes. I agree. It is going to change trajectory, and I hope it does it in a dynamic way. I hope that Leon Rose stops with the Tibbs ass kissing, with the Taj Gibson whack ass signings, and adds some size to this roster and some spacing ability at the five. Obviously, you have been hold on to Isaiah Hartenstein, but I think now stop worrying about the Donovan Mitchell trades and worry about getting a true backup power forward and a five who can space the floor. I know people say, well, there aren't a whole lot of those. Well, you might have to give up some assets to get one that's pretty good. Don't the Miles Turner is, I think, is a space to where it's too high outside of our price range. It will affect our future trades. But there are some other guys out there, like a Kelly Olynyk type player. Go get a dude like that. Someone who can be our backup four or our backup five who can space the floor. Because Sims, if this is going to go on to the playoffs, we need someone who can be a starter-esque, not a pinch hitter like Sims.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna have to do some major thinking on how we're going to approach this center position moving forward. Uh Man, Kelly Olynyk is a guy, not really a tips guy. Offensively, he can pass, he can shoot threes, he can spread the floor. Um, I mean, it will give us a different wrinkle that we're not used to having for sure. So I don't know if he's available. 7.8
This is a
million.
time to try that. Going out there, Nerlens Noel type player, I think is a mistake to try to replicate what Mitch brings. Yes, it's terrible, but there's a silver lining now. You can implement something that the team has not seen in the last couple of years. And to me, it's gone to someone who has playmaking ability and 3-point shooting.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Nerlens Noel. I'm not to be honest with you. Like Nerlens Noel has done well for us when Mitch was out. You already know how Tibbs is. Tibbs is gonna want. He might like Noel just because he's familiar with the system. I I agree with you though with the Taj Gibson thing. That seemed like nepotism at its finest. We
Yeah,
really don't need a power forward playing center. Um,
totally.
this is bad, man. That sucks. That really sucks. Um, I mean, listen. The only real silver lining is it's next man up. Hartenstein
Beast,
has been playing amazing.
the most underrated player on the roster.
He's been playing amazing. He's had a career high 17 rebound game. The last game today, I think he had a 10 rebound game. And offensively, he's giving us something a little bit different than Mitch. He's giving us a little bit more spacing. He's giving us a faster pace because of his touchdown passes. He gave a nice one to Julius Randle. Um, I feel like maybe having more time has allowed him to figure out how to play high level defense and block shots without fouling, unlike he used to. Because I feel like he was a hackathon. It seems like the more minutes he's getting, the more comfortable he's getting in his role. So hopefully that continues. Um, but also it can change the trajectory of our off season. Like something like this can change the trajectory of our off season because Hartenstein is playing backup minutes. He's playing that backup center position. Now all of a sudden you thrust him to the starting center position. His value goes up. Then the Knicks have a even bigger decision to make. With his value up, we have to pay him more. Will other teams have to steal him? Um, do you look at Mitch and go, man, this is a big injury? He might be looked at as an injury risk moving forward. There's a lot to go into this all season outside of the Knicks just trying to find a star or the Knicks just trying to find a 3 and D wing to go with our starting lineup. This gives the front office a lot to think about at the trade deadline and in the offseason.
Yeah, there are definitely some different directions they can go. One of the ones I was thinking was maybe it's time to go all in on Lauri Markkanen. Bring a 7-footer over, maybe even play him at some small ball 5. He is 7 feet, or he can be a super big 4 or 3 in some lineups with Hartenstein. I think he gives you flexibility, and he allows you insurance even when Mitch comes back. To then he can slide into a 3 and play wings with the bench unit, even play some 4 or 5. I think that's a play that we should go after. I don't know what the combination guys would be going out, but when I look at this roster from top to bottom, the guys in the rotation, the guys out. The Evan Fourniers are there for salary filler. To me, it appears that the highlight piece that will probably be moved this season or this summer is RJ Barrett. And he's probably the one of all the rotational players that I advocate for based on what his return to net. It's a much higher return than what Josh Hart's going to give you or Dante DiVincenzo or Hartenstein. I think RJ can get you back some good pieces, some depth. And if we are going to make a move, I have a feeling he'll probably be the one involved.
I find it extremely hard to believe that Lauri will be a Knick.
Why?
Because, well, one, Danny Ainge is the devil, for one. Mm-hmm. 2, the Knicks have been in lockstep with getting Tom Thibodeau-esque players, guys who can play defense. Those are the guys they really prioritize. And having Lauri play the center is so far away from what the coach has done so far that I can't see the front office straying that far away from what we've been doing already.
I agree with you. It is hard to fathom that. I think it's what they need to do, though. I think going with the Tibbs type guy, we've hit a ceiling with that level of mentality. And it's in lockstep, so I get it. Your front office and your head coach must be aligned, and you need to funnel them players at work. That's why Fournier and Kemba didn't. But I do think it's time to try something new. It's not as if Mitch is there and you're saying no to Mitch and choosing something else. Mitch is not going to be there for the rest of the season. I think going after Markkanen and seeing what you need to get to 5 and then slotting him back at the 3 or the 4 when Mitch returns. That's an experiment I think is worth going after. And those bid packages we saw for Donovan, I don't think Donovan is worth that. I do think Markkanen is worth that.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm honest. I feel like it's a pipe dream, man. Danny Ainge is like, I was even reading up on Markkanen, and Danny Ainge wants 5 first-round picks for Markkanen. Like, he's insane.
I don't know if that's 5 unprotected.
Danny Ainge is insane. He's asking for more than what he got for Donovan and his hard draft picks. Like that, it's not happening.
If it's 5 unprotected picks, no one's gonna go after that. Not a single team.
He's not really. He's saying he's open to trading him, but he's really not open to trading him. He's not. So I'm like, it's. I don't know. I feel like I'm giving it too much brain power to even thinking about that because I already know.
Fair enough.
That's not going. I don't think
that type of forward thinking experimentation. I'm more interested in that route than I am getting someone who gives you some of what Mitch gives you and nothing that he doesn't also not give you. Like I want someone who gives a different element, a different wrinkle. We saw what Hartenstein's add to the offense. I would like for someone else to bring something new to the 5 position now that Mitch is out for the year. And God bless him. I pray for nothing but a very quick, healthy, stable recovery for our man Mitch.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm a defense guy, so I like my centers who can defend. Now, if you can defend and play and shoot the 3 and give you something different, then by all means, I'll take that as well. But I like defense, especially, and like I said, our best player is still a 6-foot point guard. So I think when I think about roster construction, I think about how to cover up what other guys can't do on the court. And because he's not the best defender on the court, I feel like we have to figure out how to have other guys around there who can cover that up. Like, so I'm not sure what big centers are even available. I'm not like, I don't think other teams are really willing to give up centers right now, to be honest with you. Like the centers I've seen that might be available are like Nick Claxton from the net. Possibly because I feel like, he could be a free agent, but I don't see why they would give him up. I think I see Valanciunas might be available next season as a free agent, but the Pelicans are in the middle of their chase. I don't think they're ready to blow anything up.
Agreed.
So, yeah. Then there's projects. There's the projects like shout out to Alexander who said Wiseman. Wiseman he's a project. He has skills, but he's so raw that Tibbs is gonna have his hand full. Tibbs is gonna like he's not the guy who's gonna be ready this year when we're competing for a playoff spot. Like he's a guy who's going to need time. You know what I mean? So like I feel like we're gonna be put in a corner where we're just going to have to go for like a Andre or a Dwight or I don't know. You know what I mean? Like not really a big name for sure, for real.
That sounds terrible, but you're probably right.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, man. But that's what it's looking like right now. Ooh, what a hamper on our good win today, man. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping Hartenstein can answer the bell because Hartenstein is doing really well for us, and he's expanding our offense. So at the same time, man, this is still an opportunity for Hartenstein to step up and affect this team in a positive way, and he's done a good job so far. And he will have to continue doing a good job. And he started off right, man. He started off right. So shout to Hartenstein, man. We gonna have to get behind you right now. We're gonna have to get behind you right now. So far, so good. You challenge Anthony Davis, and it's not even just Hartenstein. It's the team.
Yeah.
It's the team because we have been undersized in spots, but our team defense has really been good. So to bring it back to the game, right? You saw versus the Lakers the way we swarmed to the open three. The first quarter today was probably the best point defense I've seen the Knicks play
100%.
the entire year, which is great considering what the Nets are. The Nets are the number 2 3-point shooting team in the NBA and put up the 6th most attempts in the NBA. So for the Knicks to be able to shut them down the way they did is a great sign. And they did it great in the first quarter for sure. But not only that, defensively, the Knicks were able to even kind of limit the paint touches. We outscored them in the paint 52-40. And you saw RJ Barrett, you saw Dante DiVincenzo, you saw Josh Hart. We saw a lot of people kind of play the 3-point defense and in the paint defense. And this is what Tibbs had in mind when he says stop the paint and stop the three. Like this is exactly what he had in mind. And they did that for the first quarter. Now, they didn't really do it for the second quarter like that. It's funny. The second unit is usually the best defensive unit. The first unit to me played better defense than the second unit, which is the first time I've seen that since I've been watching. But yeah, they did a great job. And Dante DiVincenzo in particular, he looks like the best team defender on the squad right now to me.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything to add.
This is the best I've seen the starting five look in a while, too, consistently at least from the Laker game on. I think Hartenstein is just a better. He's not the defensive cog that Mitchell Robinson is, but on offense, he's definitely the linchpin. He keeps the ball moving when he catches it. He's able to make smarter reads and smarter passes than Mitch Robinson. He has better hands. He finishes around the basket better. I think he makes better decisions when he gets an offensive rebounder and where to put it than Mitchell Robinson does too. And he's not a bad rim protector and shot blocker. I mean, he had some balance. He had that nasty shot block in the third quarter, I think, where he stuffed the shit out of some bum that went to the rim. I can't remember if it's Bridges or Bridges. Not a bum. Cam Thomas, I mean, is an empty bucket. He's like a bigger Alonzo
I like
Trier.
Cam Thomas, actually. Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I don't think I've ever seen Cam Thomas score over 20 in the Nets win, but I've heard a lot talked about him for a most improved player, which whatever. To me, it's Al Prince and done. Getting off topic. I have very much liked the way the starting lineup has looked, and to me, all that begins and ends with Julius Randle keeping the ball moving. and he has made a conscious effort to do that, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of Brunson to be pass first. Brunson can continue cooking even when he's on ball or off, and Randle keeps the rock moving and making better decisions and knowing when to score and taking higher percentage shots as well. If just RJ Barrett to get back to the ball that he was playing the first quarter of the season pre-migraine, if that could happen, I think this team could do a Miami Heat level run. Not win at all, but a run.
It's RJ, but I'm a comment. I'm gonna build off what you said before that, which is the starting five playing the best basketball. The new additions, the Hartenstein and DiVincenzo, have kind of given him a different look. DiVincenzo has given them a consistent 3-point threat where teams have to be fearful, because if you give that man more than 2 seconds of open space, three is going in probably 50% of the time. And we reap the benefits of that. It's giving Randle more time to bully ball people. It's giving him outlets to kick it out. And we've benefited from that. Also, the mobility of those guys on defense has been really good. Dante's not the best point of attack defender, but he's not bad, but he's above average team defender. And they really helped out. Hartenstein played one-on-one defense against these bigger centers as a team, so we can get by on that. And offensively, between Dante's high steal rate and Hartenstein's passing and the fast break, the pace of our team in that first unit has picked up. We scored 21 points. Yeah, 21 fast break points today. And even the team just did a good job of just running. You already know RJ likes to run. He gets a lot of his baskets on the run. And Randle actually he learned some basket hanging from LeBron James after the Clippers game. So he got a couple of easy baskets that way. But that starting lineup has infused some kind of new light into us. So it's working out pretty well, right?
Concerning their 3-point shooting too, at second half, I was very thankful. Every shot they took was a break from three. They still shot 47 times, but they held them to 32. I think the first half, it was really the defense. The second half, we just got very lucky that they bricked a lot of a three ball. I like the assists. 24 is not going to be leading, maybe not even top 10, probably not even top 15, but it's better than where we usually at in the early 20s, between 20 and 21. Some games we've been 19. So I would like to know what the record is when we have 23 or 24 assists and more. But I really like the way the ball was moving, even if it didn't lead to an assist. There were a lot of nice hockey assists in this game too. And I think everyone's getting involved in that. And that's just a byproduct of Hartenstein being with the starting unit and playing a whole lot of minutes too. You're getting one of your top three passers out there on the court, way more than usual. To me, it's him, RJ, and Randle are the three best passers.
No, it's funny. I was doing some
ball behind.
I was doing some weird stat looking just to look at things, and I was just looking at NBA team assist stats, and you know what I realized, Lee?
What's that?
A lot of the top teams in the league who lead the league in assist are the NBA's worst teams.
Even Indiana?
Even in Indiana. I mean, granted, Indiana has kind of fallen off lately. There's the top 5 teams in the East and the top 5 teams in the West. On both sides, 8 out of 10 of those teams aren't in the top 14 in assists.
Okay.
Only 2 teams are top in assists. That's the Kings and the Nuggets.
Makes sense.
Everybody else, the Celtics. I think it's the Celtics, the Magic. This is off the top of my dome. But all the other teams are at the bottom of the league. I think the top maybe the 15 or 14 might be the Timberwolves. So it was just very interesting. It was very interesting to see what the assists of the league team, what are the high assists for the teams are, and how that correlates to wins. And it's it just seems like the teams who really pass the ball because they have to, because they don't have top end talent, or the teams who are really, Denver has that generational assist guy who's so good that man, it just makes sense to build a team around a guy who can generate assists the way he can. And then there's the Kings who are kind of the anomaly in that top 10, where I don't know if they have like a generational assist guy on their team, but they're playing pretty well. And
Sabonis.
I think they're like top 6 in assists. I have to look it up right now. I'm going off memory.
Sure. That's very interesting.
Yeah. It's just interesting. That doesn't mean I want our team to not pass the ball anymore. But it does mean that, for our personnel, ideally I would like to be that Jokic type of team where all the team is just like a globetrotter. We back cutting and we're getting assists all over the place. But in reality, I know we have bucket getters, we have clutch bucket getters. Our goal might be to get in that top 14 or something. You know what I'm saying? Top 14, top 13 instead of bottom. Instead of I think we're like 28th right now. So I think that might have to be our real goal to really get into top team contention.
For me, it's about who's out there. Like when before Mitch got hurt, when it was at Mitch, Brunson and Randle, I expect the assists to be lower because you got one guy who doesn't touch the ball and Mitch, and two guys who are best when they're in isolation in half-court sets and this game is slowed down. But when it's RJ leading that second unit, or IQ is now the point of attack and Brunson sitting, those are the moments where I think the assists should be higher at a higher ratio, because that means those guys are playing alongside the Harts and the DiVincenzo's and the Quentin Grimes, guys who need that extra pass to get them open around the perimeter or in backdoor cuts and find them for easy layups. So to me, it's all about like situational more so than overall. And if Randle and Brunson play 40, 42 minutes, I expect the assist numbers to be lower.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But I mean, recently at least anyway, I feel like when Grimes got to the second unit, they made it their mission to get him the ball. But I feel like IQ has been kind of just shot hunting a lot lately. Like, especially in that first half, I feel like everybody else was doing cardio. I feel like IQ
sure.
was like throwing it up. Everybody was just kind of running back and forth for that second unit. The second unit is really what kind of got the Nets back into the game. And the second unit didn't do as good as a job anticipating where to go in that 3-point rotation. And they got, I feel like Cam Thomas got a lot of open threes. But that second unit, we can't lose that assist. What's the word I'm looking for? Chemistry from that second unit. We still have to be able to move the ball with that second unit.
Typically it is. I think maybe having Hartenstein with the first unit more and Sims or some combination of going really small, I think might be throwing that off a little bit. But I think in most circumstances, I think it'll be okay. That's
a good point. Yeah. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. As we supposed to be celebrating when we got some bad news in the middle, but we still gonna celebrate this one, right? Salute to the chat. Shout out to Marshall L. Shout out to Nick, Gregory Lee, Alexander, Knicks Nation TV. Felicia Lee, Gamer Channel, everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. If you like the show, hit that like and subscribe button. And also, there's a Discord. There's a Discord. Did I even put the Discord link in the chat? If you want to talk Knicks basketball with us, you can join the Discord and give us your thoughts on players, the game, etc., etc. I'm not sure if Chris, did you put the Discord in the chat? Maybe I could pin it. And Felicia, I did see your question. I just saw the question when we kind of switch topics, but I'll address your question, Felicia. Felicia asked about Vujicic. Now, from what I know of Vujicic, the price tag is high. So I don't think it's likely because of what he's getting paid. I don't know exactly what's getting paid off the top of my dome, but I just remember at the time when the Chicago Bulls was looking to rebuild, I remember the contract being a big deal. So I feel like he might be out of the price range. I can check it out. And defensively, he's definitely not the type of guy that Tibbs would like. He's kind of seen as a traffic cone on defense.
Totally.
So I don't think that's likely for us either because it's so far from what Tibbs is used to. But he's averaging, what is he averaging? 16 points a game, 27. Woo, and the 3-point shooting is cradled. Wow. He's shooting 27% from 3 this year. Woo. 34 last year. He's been below average for the last few years. After shooting 38% in 2021. So yeah, there's chemistry issues over there though, for sure. That could be contributing to why he's doing that. But yeah, with the defense being the way it is and the 3-point shooting cradling, that might be a risk. That I feel like
he's an excellent rebounder. He's actually one of the better playmakers in the league. So many of these Euros coming over here are developing guard skills and bringing them with them into the NBA. But to me, he brings a lot of what Hartenstein brings.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's way better offensively and has a deeper bag than Hartenstein offensively. But you're paying 4 or 5 times the amount for what Hartenstein. So to me, that's someone who's past. They're either at the end of the tail end of their prime or past their prime, and their contract extends beyond their prime. That's not a good candidate for us to go out to. Especially, you don't want to overspend or overtrade for the 5 position. It's just this ain't the 90s or the early 2000s anymore. We're not worrying about a Shaq out there because of the way the Joker's beating you is his dominance in almost every other way, but posting up, even though he can. So to me, we should be a little bit more reserved because we do have a defensive player of the year candidate waiting to come back. Let's not blow too much of our assets on a center. Vucevic would be a horrible get for us.
Let's see. He's making 18 a year. I mean, that's not bad, but he's 33.
Mm-hmm.
He's 33. Yeah, I don't want to. Nah, I'll pass.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, like I actually like the other the dude in the Pelicans, but I can't see them moving him around.
Yes, Valanciunas.
Yeah, Valanciunas. I would love Valanciunas here.
Me too.
But I don't know. I can't see them moving him because they're still in the thick of things, But I think he's a free agent next year. But obviously, like the way the Knicks are set up right now, we don't really have free agency money. Everything would be sign and trade situation. So he would have to be like, "Hey, I want to come to the Knicks," and he would have to finagle his way here. I'm not sure if we're even positioned to do that because we have some other fish to fry. We have some
agreed. And you made a great point earlier. Valanciunas, the Pelicans are doing very well right now. Brandon Ingram's balling. CJ McCollum's came back. He's been playing very well, shooting very high percentages. Herb Jones has solidified that starting spot. They got Trey Murphy off the bench. There's really no reason for them to give up their starting center, especially when they don't have a whole lot of depth behind them at the 5. That's the 5 and the 1 are probably their 2 weakest positions in terms of depth. So I don't see Valanciunas being moved at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though I love him.
Yeah, I still feel like that lockdown wing power forward is something we need to go for. Actually, maybe Finley Smith. I kind of like him, man.
I love him. He's one of the few Mavs I liked. He has hot and cold seasons, not nights, seasons from 3. But he always gives you dog defense. I think he's taller than he looks. I think he's 6'7" or 6'6". And Dallas is playing him at the power forward position on their Western Conference Finals run. So, he can guard some of the bigs too. And when he's hot, he's very deadly. He's one of the best 3-and-D players in the league. But that shot is shaky. I still think Kelly Olynyk is a guy who I would go after on a cheap deal, a cheap trade. That's just me. I think I like what he brings to the team. I like how different it would be from Mitch.
Yeah, I think this year he's shooting around 40%, and he's been good at defense.
Yeah, he's having a good year.
Been a little bit injury prone, and I don't know. He's a little dog. I like that dog. Like he's being the hell of the Nets, and he's like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna dunk on you. I kind of like that.
Me too, bro.
I kind of like that. We busting your ass, and he's like, whatever. I don't care if you're down 20. I'm dunking it on you because I don't like the fact that you just beating our ass like that. Like I kind of like that. So I don't know. You already know Jeremy Grant. We both team Jeremy Grant for sure.
Oh hell yeah,
That's the one.
hell yeah.
That's the one guy we kind of agreed on.
I wish they had another big in Portland that we could do a larger trade for, but Aiton's not going anywhere, and I don't want Aiton. But
I
I
don't know.
just don't have anyone really off the bench that made sense for us as a backup 4 or 5.
Nah, I agree. I agree.
I
Oh
see
man.
Moses Brown in the
Oh
chat.
man, what
Moses
a
Brown.
hmm?
Moses Brown is ass. I see someone in Knicks Nation TV talking about Moses Brown. Bro, Moses Brown on his 8th team in 2 years, man. Moses Brown is doo doo, man. Nah, that's not it. That's not it.
Nah,
That's
for
not it.
sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, man. But yo, good women. Man, I hate this news kind of put a damper on this wing. I'm ready to dance and stuff.
We still can, bro.
We still can dance. All right, we just get the gunshots going, get the good
Hell yeah,
feels
let's
going.
go.
Because at the end of the day, we beat the Brooklyn Paint Johns. We beat the gentrified Brooklyn team. And
doubt.
we did what we supposed to do. I get to go back to work and rub it in my coworkers' face. So everybody has Nets fans as coworkers. Have a great day tomorrow. Make sure you wear your orange and blue. Make sure you dance. You rub it in their face, and you let them know who is the better New York team. All right, they definitely got to do that.
They're in a funky spot. I can't tell. Like, are they rebuilding, or do they think they can remain competitive? They need to make a choice, and we need to make it fast. And it's okay to let Ben Simmons rot in street clothes on the bench, because I think that's where he's going to be for the rest of his career. But they have some pieces I think a lot of contenders would overspend on. The Royce O'Neal, the Dorian Finney-Smith, even Denshitty at the point. Those are guys I think a lot of teams would give up really good assets for. They should be selling high right now, in my opinion. Cam Johnson, Bridges, all those guys should be out. Keep Cam Thomas because he's young, cheap, and he's filling out the bot stores. He's entertaining, but everyone else I would get rid of. That's just me.
They're at a crossroads right now. They're really at a crossroads because they're a team filled with wings who are going to compete from night to night. But they don't have the top end talent. They're just kind of like the feel good team. So like they have enough. They have enough assets from that KD trade to make a move. To try, but like it's one of those things where it's like when everybody star hunting. Will it be star hunting too? Like I can still see them making a move for Donovan Mitchell. They have enough assets for him, so I can see that. So I can see them trying to compete and then make a move for Mitchell and maybe compare him with Bridges or whatever. So like I feel like they're just trying to stay afloat right now and trade for a star. I think that's what they're doing.
Probably. I was gonna say they're one of the oldest rebuilding teams I've ever seen. They're rebuilding, but everyone's over the age of 25. I mean, Cam Thomas had the only real young player with any potential. I was surprised. I mean, Cam Johnson's like 29, almost 30. I was like, damn, this dude's old. Yeah, he's close to 30. I didn't realize he had been in the NBA so long.
Oh wow. Why does he look so young?
He does. He does look young. He's at that baby face.
Yeah, he does. I like his game.
He's 27.
I like his game though.
Yes, me too. We'll love him in New York.
For sure. Listen, man. I don't know what the Nets are on, but shoot, they got a bunch of wings that we can take a look at. Like Macau. Macau played like doo-doo today, man. I feel like the weight of the franchise is too heavy for him right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of buckling a little bit. Like now that he's been on the scouting report for the full year, the things that he was kind of doing on the fly isn't really working like it used to. And he's kind of feeling the grunt of that, which is fine. You're not a real number one. That's fine. You can be number 3 with the Knicks. That's fine.
Yep, sure can.
Sure can. Come on over to Macau. Come on over.
I would love him. Love his personality. I think he's like built for it. He's high character, and obviously with chemistry with all the Villanova guys would be amazing. I think it's a trade. I think RJ Barrett would for sure be on the way out to get him, and he's a huge upgrade there over Barrett. Which we need to talk about Barrett, bro. It's time.
RJ Barrett today, he still hasn't gotten back to the pre-migraine stages where he used to be. He's kind of just had some okay games. Mm-hmm. He's been playing well defensively today. Mm-hmm. Not a bad game today, actually. 5 of 11, 45% from the field, 5 rebounds, 1 block, plus 13 on the night. Actually, not a bad game today. but he's kind of just been middle of the road the last few games. Um, and he's had he's had a stretch of like horrible games to now a stretch of like middle of the road games so far. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on RJ Barrett?
I think it's concerning. I think the dip in production is very concerning. It's his defensive effort has been inconsistent, but you knew that the package was always there for him to be a high level defender. But offensively, that's been the worry, especially his 3-point shooting, his overall efficiency. And it's been between mediocre and awful since he's returned back from that migraine. He hasn't been able to put together a solid rhythm. And I can't remember who it was on Twitter. It might have been Nitsinator, who said, "Who is a player that we win despite of, not because of?" And immediately I thought RJ Barrett. Like RJ Barrett is never really the reason that we win, but the fact that he has a bad game, we still win too. It's I think it's a cause of concern. I'm not saying boot his ass out of New York, but I do believe that the front office probably thinks the same as I do, which is when they do make a trade, he's going to be the centerpiece they hope to include over someone like Emmanuel Quickly, mainly because his salary works better for a big name player after that extension. But that's the position that needs to be upgraded. It can be Dante DiVincenzo or Quentin Grimes, the two. We've already talked about how that role, that starting role, it is what it is, and it's very limited. It's that 3 spot, the third prong of our trio that needs to be upgraded significantly, I think, before we are a finals contender. And RJ hasn't shown that he can be that guy. I want him to, but I hate that. I feel like I'm right again, where the ceiling I thought for him was where it was about a year ago. I want to be proven wrong, and there's still lots of time. And I'm holding out, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah. When I feel like IQ, I want IQ to say, but I feel like he might be the most likely candidate, like you said, because of price and production, the combination of the two. That's one. Two. It's funny because I do feel like defensively he's way better than last year. Um, even like last game, right? Knicks versus Lakers, he blocked. He fouled on a 3-point shot with the game on the line, which is a bad play. But for the most part, I felt like our 3-point defense was really good, a lot, and our interior defense was really good, partly because RJ Barrett played really good defense. The 3-point shooting though has been a concern for me. I've been worried about the shooting for a while. And every time a bad shooting night happens, I look at Ebony and go, Ebony, I don't know, man. I don't know. But today was a decent game. Like the thing that I have seen from it is the floater has been decent, but everything has just been decent right now. Everything has been decent. It hasn't been super bad recently. It's just been kind of okay. So I'm not sure where he lands next year or end of the year. Like, I'm not sure if he lands into that upper echelon player or if he's just going to kind of be the okay player. Right now, this moment, he feels more like an okay player. The one thing that is encouraging that I like to, the one thing that's encouraging that's usually a sign that the shooting is going to turn around or is going to take a turn for the better is usually the foul shooting. I think he's hit like 20 something straight shots. His foul shot has gone up to like 80 something percent. I'm going off the top of my brain. And usually when your shooting starts to hit, the first sign that your shooting is going to get there is the foul shooting, and that's been consistent. So I'm hoping that's the good sign that RJ is going to turn it around with his shooting touch in general. But right now, he's just been really kind of middle of the road.
I agree. And we've all agreed there's no one out there that is worth trading for that moves the needle. It brings his team to a different echelon. And you and I agree specifically, I think maybe only you and I agree on this, is that the determining factor of our playoff run is RJ Barrett, more so than Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson. RJ is a player we can either boom or bust with his play. And I'm actually okay if he continues the regular season the way that he is and then reverts back to playoff RJ last year and how he was getting to the hoop in the playoffs. I'm okay with that being our third option until we make that bid swing for a superstar or a player better than Brunson and Randall. Maybe just at a star level player. But if this is it, and this is how this 14, 15 middling, 38, 42% from the field, 34% from three continues all season into the playoffs, well, now we're going to end up selling low. And that means another squander asset wise from the front office.
You know, it's funny. I might update that take only because I'm gonna see what happens as far as the end of the year. The play of Julius Randle, like Julius Randle's blowing my mind right now. Julius Randle's blowing my mind right now. So if your two best players have gotten better, and then we actually have legit shooting in from three from Dante, RJ just doesn't have. RJ to me it would be optimal if he got better and was able to be a shooter too. But it gives us a little bit of wiggle room, just a little bit more wiggle room. So I'm gonna wait and see how everything kind of unfolds for me.
I think the best point I can point to combat that stance is that like Randall and Brunson have been playing balls out so far this year, and we've only a handful of games over 500, and they're still struggling to beat good teams consistently. And that's with with Randall playing the best ball of his career and Brunson playing the best ball of his career and spanning his 3-point shot. So to me, it's like those two guys at their best. I think this is about what we are. Now we're starting to beat good teams, but I don't think we're going to be a team that consistently beats their teams. I think it's going to be maybe half and half, and we still smack the shitty teams throughout the season. But RJ, to me, if RJ was on, I don't think there's a team in the NBA that really scares me.
Oh yeah, if RJ is on everything kind of falls into place. Well, I guess my question is, what are good teams? What is your definition of good teams, right? Because we have bad teams, then we have the middle road teams, and then we have the contenders. You know what I mean? So during this stretch where we playing better defense, we're starting to beat good teams finally after being on the road. But like, do you consider contenders a good team, or do you consider them contenders? Because like even like the Clippers loss, like the Clippers looking like contenders to me, man. Like the Clippers don't look like a good team to me. The Clippers look like a freight train. With Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like they look like a freight train. The Celtics look like a freight train. There's certain teams that look like a freight train. And then there's like that middle team.
Mm-hmm.
That middle tier. Like, are we beating the middle tier teams? Like, I feel like the middle tier teams might be us. It could be like Orlando. It could be, well, we lost to Utah.
OKC.
Huh? OKC.
Dallas. Sacramento.
Yeah.
Memphis. Now the Jaw's back.
So, like, and then it's the contender teams. Like, I'm not sure. Like, the contender teams will be like, the Clippers are a contender team. The Nuggets for sure. Celtics. I'm putting in 76. I'm not sure where to put the 76ers, man. Freaking Embiid is balling out of his mind, though, yo. So I kind of feel like I want to put them in a contending.
To me, these two games coming up in this Milwaukee are going to be very telling.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to beat both for me to be like, we're beating contending teams. It's what's the effort in both of those? Because I think they come very close to each other. I want to see from the first game to the second game what changes are made. And I want to see how well we move the ball against that team.
Yeah.
I want to see how well we defensive rebound and offensive rebound with Mitch out against that team, how we contain Brook Lopez with Sims and Hartenstein guarding him opposed to Mitch, who's always had trouble. All those things I think are very important. Is the effort. Are we really, do we lose both, but by single digits, 4 or 5 points? Then I would still feel pretty good about that. But if we get effing smacked like the Clippers did us, different story.
Yeah, this is gonna be for me. I'm gonna see what Randle is doing because I feel like Randle was absolutely phenomenal versus the Bucks, at least offensively. My gripes with him was defensively. He just checked out defensively for about 3 quarters. And if he plays defensively like he's been on the road, then I think we should fare a lot better. Also, I felt like Jalen Brunson's 3-point shooting kind of abandoned us during that game versus the Bucks. So if we can get a good game from both of those guys at the same time, like the Lakers, then it's looking like something different as well. So far, it's been one guy been playing well versus the Bucks in the first game, and in the second game, it's been the other guy. We haven't had both of our main guys clicking versus the Bucks, and I think we're gonna need that. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But yeah, I really want to see how we look in general against the Bucks, the Celtics, the Bucks, the Celtics, the 76ers. Like, I want to see how we're gonna look.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody asked for Bamba. Is Bamba good? Is Bamba even available? Because he's with the 76ers now. But I'm not even sure if he's like available. Or if they even want to trade him.
I can't see Tibbs putting up with Bamba. I really can't.
I mean, he blocks shots. I mean, I guess it's the motor thing. He's the archetype.
Mm-hmm.
He's the
But he
archetype.
sucks.
Hmm?
He's an art type, but he's not any good.
Yeah. Well,
He just hasn't put together.
he might
We
be
haven't
right.
seen enough of a sample size.
He might be right. I feel like he's doing okay with the 76ers, but last I checked. But I'm not sure if they would want to move him anyway, considering he's the backup over there. But yeah, man, we're gonna be scouring the streets for some backup centers, man. Woo, this is rough time right now. But salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know, do you have any bruh picks or anything?
Man, I thought it was something. Oh yeah, Republican nominee Donald Trump, my guy, is taken off of the ballot by the Denver Supreme Court. This will go to the Supreme Court, but I think it's an interesting dynamic that is not going to be decided on the resurrection part. There's been a lot of really gas attempts by Democrats to try to indict him, to impeach him, to bar him from running. And I don't think all of the collusion, all that has to be as to me the real one is the insurrection, which I 100% believe that he was a factor in. They left his rally and went to the Capitol. We couched to the Capitol. They only water burden of the Capitol. They left his rally where he said, "Don't overturn that shit." And then there we are acting like dumbasses, getting shot and knocked off buildings, which they all deserve. So wild times, United States of America. We'll see what's on with that. But hey, man, let's not forget, Lee Escobedo's back. That means book club's back too. All right, today I got Paul Thomas Anderson, the great American director. Can you kind of see it? Okay, anyways, beautiful book here. You can't see it, but just take my word for it. It's his masterworks. It is a pictorial illustration of stills and images and writings from the great director Paul Thomas Anderson. He of Boogie Nights, he of The Master, he of There Will Be Blood, some of the greatest pieces of cinema of the last 50 years, and protege of Martin Scorsese. And this book goes through all of his writings, stripped edits, all the actors that have talked about who have worked with him, from Philip Seymour Hoffman, Daniel Day-Lewis. Beautiful book. I'm a big film guy, so it was great to get that as a Christmas gift from my ex-girlfriend. Rest in peace. I appreciate you, and I appreciate that gift. I hope you're doing well. You're watching.
All right.
So I guess I'm the bro pick.
Bruh.
Long story short, bruh.
Man.
R.I.P.
Shout out to Lee's Book Club recommendations. Let me know if any of you guys have gotten any of Lee's books. Let you know what you thought of it.
Hey, please let me know.
Yeah.
No doubt. We have a book club.
Just Nick said, "Yo, Tom said Josh Hart can play the 5."
Oh, bruh.
I mean, Josh Hart did play the 5 at garbage time.
Garbage time, though. Thank God.
He did. I have a bro pick, man.
Mm-hmm.
My bro pick is to the NBA referees as a whole. So this has been the worst referee year I can remember, with a bunch of memorable bad play calls to decide games. Kevin Durant being fouled at the 3-point line, and the refs looking at the taping, deciding that it wasn't a foul, was one that stood out. The misuse of game film in general, missing fouls while watching it in slow motion, has been atrocious. But the flopping call has been basura, as Ryan G would say. And what makes it worse is it's a good idea in theory to penalize players for flopping, but they never seem to actually penalize players for flopping. They so far, the Knicks in particular have gotten like 3 or 4 flopping calls after legitimately getting fouled or not flopping at all for falling. And today was no different. It was a play today when Emmanuel quickly pulls up for 3 in the corner, hits a miraculous shot falling down. And because he fell down, the refs called the flop. And the Nets missed the technical shot. And we all, at the same time, in Knicks Nation said it all at once to the TV, but don't lie. All right? As he missed the technical shot. So, yeah, my bro pick goes to the refs for the horrible interpretation of the flopping call. It's been a failure for these refs in the NBA this year. Good rule, horrible execution. Yeah.
Oh, I got an ooh pick.
You got an ooh pick. What you got?
Cardi B single.
What?
Cardi, if you're watching, baby. If you're watching, man. Fly through. I'll show you all of the spots in Dallas. Got sushi spot on deck. Got a whole date day planned for you. Cardi B, come be my one and only. I'm obsessed. I love you, girl. I know you're single. I'll treat you right.
Oh my God.
Upset. Come on, baby. Come to Dallas. Let me teach you that Southern hospitality. I'll take you to Ecstasy. We'll have a great time. Smoke some hookah. Look at some strippers. Let's go have some fun. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Lee, I hate that. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you exactly what's gonna happen.
What's that?
Offset and Cardi B are getting back together.
Damn, bro.
Around Christmas, okay?
Come on, bro.
I'm telling you. So enjoy your fantasy
holidays,
in your head while it lasts. But I
hey,
guarantee
what's
you,
more?
Christmas is gonna come. Offset is gonna buy her like a pony or something.
What's more of a pipe dream, Cardi B and me, or Lori Martin to the Knicks?
It's pretty close, though.
Neck and neck.
It's pretty close.
Nah, it's Cardi B and me. Come on, man.
I don't know, man. You seen Danny Ainge? Danny Ainge hates the Knicks, bro. Like, I don't know.
Both deals with the devil. You know what I mean?
I might put my money on you and Cardi.
Let's go.
I might put my money on you and Cardi before Larkin to the Knicks, man.
Kingdom of thoughts, baby. Kingdom of thoughts. Let's go.
If there was a parlay, I might go with you and Cardi. And just,
My guy.
Maybe you'll break up before New Year's, but you know.
I just need one night. That's all I'm asking for.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yep. Gotta have unpredictable. That is our show. Thank you guys for watching. All right. Shout out to Nick Yak. Shout out to Alexander. Shout out to Felicia Lee. Felicia is back. Hope you heard our Village Valanciunas breakdown. Shout out to JW. Says Drummond and DeRozan. We'll see. We'll see.
Boring.
We will see. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next. It's funny. I will actually be at the Bucks game, so I'm trying to figure out what route we're doing with the show. Shout out to, first I'll talk to you to see how that's gonna roll, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually do the show right after the game. So I don't know if you guys might have to run it or wait for me to come
Christmas
back
Day?
home.
The Christmas game?
Yo, that too. Like, I'm trying to figure out how the next 2 games in particular. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do the Christmas game too. Like, should we? Because usually I do Christmas games. Usually I don't even ask. I just do the Christmas games dolo. Because I'm not trying to be a Grinch and actually I'll do a Christmas game. That's just crazy. But I'm gonna be because I'm in Jersey now and I'm not in Brooklyn. Like, for me to do the Christmas game and then go to my fam afterwards is like a taller task. So we might end up just doing the Christmas game the next day. Okay. That might make more sense this year because yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. But
okay.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that Bucks game, it might be that Bucks game. That Bucks post game might be a little bit later that day if anybody's available. And not right after like we usually have it. But we'll keep you posted. Okay.
Bet.
All right. Cool. But that is our show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know where they can find you.
Find me on Twitter at _Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. I turn my blur off. Here it is, Paul Thomas Anderson's Masterworks. Beautiful book, hardcover, about $39.99 at Barnes & Noble. Definitely worth that, and checking out his films.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook as well. So definitely check us out on those platforms. And yeah, we'll be back next game. And as always,
shout out the worldwide west. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. Knicks over Nets. That's what I like. That is our show. We are out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.